Okay, so I'm gonna try my best to change up the scenery. I'm new to this YouTube thing, but just so you have a chance to see the view, I am actually moving cross country and walking by faith because I don't know exactly why I'm moving there particularly, especially for, I think I'm gonna be there probably 9-10 months. So I'm not quite sure why I'm moving there, but if it's anything like what I just experienced in quitting my job and moving to LA, he will eventually disclose it and change my life and for the better. And it's just been amazing. The journey, even though it's been rough. Where do I even start? I guess I'll just start by saying this. Let me get a, try to figure out where I'm gonna sit. I got the revelation back in May when I went on a trip to Virginia. I was doing some research on I was just doing some research on what I will disclose later because it actually ends up being the why behind the why behind me going to law school. Sheesh. So yeah, back in May, I went on a trip to Virginia, did some research on my family side, and since it was like only a couple hours from my mom's side in North Carolina, decided to go up there. But then I just felt like I needed to be in Charlotte for some reason, and I drove up to Charlotte to kind of just like drive around and see like why I was being led to Charlotte. So that was back in May, and then in July, June or July, God told me I needed to move there. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm not in a position where I can now. So I kind of just kept praying on like when. Kept asking him when I should go. He eventually told me when. And so we're approaching, I'm 2 weeks out now. And I just don't see how it's gonna. I don't see how it's gonna happen. So let me give you some context to. Well, I do see. I know it's gonna happen through God because it ain't. I just ain't. What I have, my limited resources, it just doesn't look like it's gonna happen. But I know it's gonna come through. But let me just give you some context. So, like I said in my first or second video, I can't remember now. Quit my job in November, moved to LA, ran out of savings, and God has just been sustaining me. Ran out of savings, and leading up to my birthday, so my birthday is June 23rd, leading up to my birthday, I kept asking God for some income. I was just like, Lord, I'm tired of right before a bill is due, like worrying about how you're gonna come through this time. Like he just comes through, but it's always like last minute. So I'm just like, I know not to worry because you got it, but can I get back to a flow? Like I'm not used to being without. I'm just not used to being without, and I'm not used to asking anybody for anything. And so, well, side note, that's one thing that he's worked on me. One thing I've been working on in this season is my pride, asking for help. Like there have been a couple situations where I've had to ask my parents for money, and they don't have money, but somehow they made a way. And so, I mean, but right now, like I can't. I've exhausted any opportunity that I have on asking them for anything else. But it's the first time I've ever had to ask them for money, and it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Even though it wasn't that much, it was exactly what I needed. in that time. And yeah, I'm just not used to asking for help. And that's one thing that I'm trying to get over. Because I'm normally the one. I'm the giver. Like, I'm normally the one. But it's neither here nor there. I was praying, like, leading up to my birthday. I was like, Lord, for my birthday, it would just be so nice if I could get some income, like regular income. For my birthday. Mind you, this is June. My birthday is June 23rd. All of May, I was just praying this. By mid-June, I applied to volunteer for this company. This girl who runs this company in Hollywood, she needed some help. She needed like assistant help or something. And I applied to volunteer, y'all. Volunteer for 2 days. I thought it would be a cool opportunity to get to know somebody in the industry, network, and then, of course, just offer my services, offer my help. Y'all, I had an interview the day before my birthday. I had an interview. Mind you, volunteer job. By the end of the interview, she was asking me about, a bird behind me. I'm like, what is that noise? She was asking me about my sales background and business background, and she was just asking how I could incorporate that with her business. Long story short, she's like, put a proposal together and, I might be willing to hire you on as a contractor. I was like, thank you, God. Thank you. So, she liked the proposal. She was on board. But I was like, it needs to be like a 3-month contract just because knowing you, God. And I consulted these birds around me. I believe I prayed about the time frame. Now that I think about it, I don't know if I did. But I do remember setting a time frame of a 3-month. I said, let's do a 3-month contract because I don't know where I'm going to be in 3 months. I could be somewhere else just because God wants me to be so flexible in the season. So I was just like, just to be respectful too of your time. I don't want you to get your hopes up thinking I'm gonna be here for a long time. And then, we could just revisit at the end of the contract. We revisited the contract after 3 months, and I was under the impression that I was going to be able to continue. I prayed about it, and I don't know, I felt like I was going to be able to continue because it's virtual. Knowing that I was going to be moving, I was like, cool, these are the funds that are going to continue to come in and help sustain me. And then she's going to be paying me more. So it was just like, okay, cool. But I prayed about it and asked for confirmation, and he gave me confirmation. And another opportunity that actually opened up in Charlotte, which is where I'm moving to, an opportunity that I didn't even have to apply, interview for. And that's a whole nother story. That's another video. But I was asking confirmation. I was like, all right, should I stay on board with her, or should I or should I wait on XYZ to see if it's going to turn out? Give me a sign. If I hear back from XYZ, then that means you want me to do that instead of continue on with her. And sure enough, like within the day, it was XYZ. So I'm like, okay, I won't continue on. But God was like, put in your 2 weeks. And when he said that, I was just like, well, if I put in my 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure they're going to be like, we don't have to restart a new contract. Just, we could just part ways now. I knew that was an option, and it's what happened. So I was just like, okay, well, now I don't have extra funds to help me on this move where I'm already have limited options. And Sorry, there's somebody out here yelling at their kid. Forgot what I was saying. Oh, so I'm 2 weeks out, right? And I'm expecting to have those funds to help me with the move, and they're not available. So I'm like, oh my God, that's fine. 2 weeks out, I still should be good, right? But sure enough, things have been popping up that I needed to pay for. Something popped up today that I did not put in my budget that I anticipate paying for. So now it's just like, it's looking even more scarce. I'm just like, all right, God, I trust you. At this point. He want me there, he's going to get me there, and it's not going to look like how I planned it. So, this is truly what it looks like to walk by faith and actually trust God. I know we're taught every Sunday and every Wednesday or Thursday in Bible class to like have faith and trust God. This is literally what it looks like. It does not look like it's going to happen, but he wants me there in Charlotte, so I know he's going to make it happen. So we will see how it all pans out. So yeah, and back to like asking people for help. Like, I've been working on that. So I have a distant cousin in Charlotte, and she's telling me about Charlotte, and I remember her telling, this is a couple months ago, telling her I was gonna be moving out there. Or like one of my family members linked us, and so she was like, oh yeah, well, whenever you move, or when you're still looking for a place, make sure, stay in an Airbnb for a couple weeks and then, look for a place. So I took that to mean like, don't ask me. Don't ask me to stay with me. And so, although I have a place, but it's not going to be ready until, I want to say like the first week in November. Well, I have a place where I think God wants me to be, and it's not going to be ready until after the first week in November. And I was just going to stay in the Airbnb until it was ready. But I'm getting the feeling that I'm supposed to ask her to stay. And it wouldn't be an issue if she didn't like continuously. She probably said it 3 times. Oh yeah, just stay in Airbnb before you figure out, give yourself some time, figure out where you want to live. I'm just like, but I'm supposed to be in Charlotte. I'm supposed to have already been there, to be honest. But just the way that things like fell into place, I believe that I'm like supposed to be there by November 1st, which would be my 1 year anniversary from when I moved to LA. So, and then later on, I'm going to tell you more about everything. So, but for now, I'm trusting God, and we're going to see what he does. We're going to see. So, I'll keep you posted.